Greetings. Today is August 20th, and it's the feast of St. Bernard of Clairvaux, our parish patron. Today he's vested in this beautiful cope as a reminder of us honoring him, but the way that he gave his life for the Lord. I was inspired because one time I was in Rome for the feast of St. Peter and Paul, and in the Basilica of St. Peter, there's a beautiful statue that everybody goes and touches his feet, but they vest him in a beautiful cope and stole and a papal tiara as well. So I thought, well, if it was good enough for St. Peter, St. Bernard of Clairvaux needed to be vested today. So he's vested as a great reminder of our patron saint. And I really consider him, he's a doctor of the church, he was an abbot and a leader, but I also consider him a friend because of my visits with him and just how I've been praying for him. And one of the things that I would say that I've come to appreciate deeper and deeper and how he's touched my life is over the years, Bernard came to realize God's love for him and how it transformed him. And he would admit that when he was very young abbot, often he was critical and rigid and of his monks and just trying to help them. But at the same time, through the years, he came to realize that what was going to really transform people was love. And that's what transformed himself, was when he fell into the love of Jesus. So there's a beautiful painting in the back of our church. And it's a mystical experience that Bernard had where he was praying in front of the crucifix, and Jesus in his love reached down and embraced him. And so from the cross, the embrace of Jesus and his love really helped move St. Bernard of Clairvaux. So he spoke a lot about love. He wrote about the Song of Songs. He did a long discourse about the Song of Songs from the Old Testament. He talked about having 4 loves and degrees of love. The first degree is always self-love, and that's kind of an awkward thing for us to talk about, but that he felt that until we learn to love ourselves, that we've been created by God in goodness, that it's hard to move forward in the spiritual life if we don't have that. That second degree is just coming to a point where we start to love God because he does things for us, and that's kind of natural. We do that as well. And that third degree is we just love God because God is, because we are. And then the very last degree is when we have full union with him, when we'll just get lost in love in heaven, which we all long for, just to be lost in the love of God. So I just, I was just very excited today to be able to preach about him and to celebrate him and to realize that he's our patron. One last thing I'll say that was pretty exciting is, he was a great builder. And today we met with our builder to kind of get things rolling. And I said how Providential is on the feast day because he was a great builder of monasteries and monks and house priests, and monks. So
that's right.
So I know he's going to start praying even more for us now in this project. So a beautiful thing. Father Brian, you have a devotion now, I hope, to St. Bernard of Clairvaux now that you're in this place.
Yes, I'm definitely learning a whole lot more about him. And it's really, really remarkable just what he did, where he ended up in his own personal life, his own spiritual journey, his own life of discipleship. And discipleship's actually what the gospel is this coming Sunday talks about to a significant degree, where people are asking Jesus, will few be saved? Will many be saved? Well, who can be saved? And just one of the great things that St. Bernard introduces in answering that question is the nature of humility. He was talking about, Father Fred really mentioned to me recently about how St. Bernard said that if we don't have humility, even our good works are full of pride, which is exactly what we do not want, because that's not what leads to salvation. We want to make sure that we are calling upon the Holy Spirit in our lives of prayer just to really help us seek humility more and more. And that's something that St. Bernard was particularly attentive to, particularly passionate about. And I think that's something, especially myself, we can be a little bit more attentive to in our own lives of discipleship, seeking humility.
Yeah, one of the things he said too, which I love this, is he said that humility is the soil for all other virtues. The soil for all other virtues. So any other virtue is going to spring for humility.
How true.
That can all the other virtues. So it's kind of the foundation for us. But anyway, great feast day, and just we have right now adorations going on. We have devotions to Divine Mercy at 6 o'clock, and then benediction happens after that. We have confessions from 5 to 6 as well. God's mercy. It's a humbling sacrament, coming in on your knees and saying, I'm broken, I've sinned, and I need you, Lord. But it's a beautiful one. And so If you can make it, that's fine, but make sure you say a prayer today, or ask for your prayers for St. Bernard of Clairvaux, rather, and just say a prayer to God in thanksgiving for our parish and this community. And we look forward to seeing you on Sunday.
Happy feast day, everyone. God
God bless
bless.
you all.